Welcome to the LynnSanity, a podcast for the Running Hook Podcast Network. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the LynnSanity podcast, a part of the Running Hook Podcast Network. And, tonight and for this week's LynnSanity, it's a privilege to not have to deal with Bryce Shetty. It's a privilege. I got a different co-host for me this week, and he's used to beating him up on Battleground. He's used to that. He's used to doing that pretty easily, like he's smashing in rookie ball. But I'm excited to have him on the LynnSanity. I'm excited to put him in the mix because it's been a while since he's been here. JD Hall, it's a privilege to have you on the LynnSanity, good sir.
Thank you, man. It's always an honor getting to work with you.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's a relief getting rid of Bryce.
It is. It very much is.
Bryce be having these blasphemous takes at times where I be like, yep.
Oh, yeah.
If I need anybody to give me something, I look to Bryce.
You look to Bryce. I mean, he might as well be the freezing cold take guy for us. I mean, the way that I see it is, I basically just swapped you out for this week, but there is another reason that you are on this podcast, JD, and that is because I am very excited to announce that, I've mentioned before that Bryce and I and Zach will be doing a playoff pod, but you and I will also be doing a playoff pod. So there will be two LynnSanities every week talking NBA playoffs. You are going to be the co-host for the second one. The Running Hook and the people that listen to this, they're not ready for what you and I are going to bring. They're just not.
Not at all. Talking about the way that we be able to see things and our conversations about every game that we tuning into. Yeah. They really get an inside look into our text messages. They're gonna get into our ability to think the game and to put it on the record. I mean, this was something that the good old founder Alex Bird mentioned. He just dropped it into me. He's like, what if you and JD do a pod together? I sat there and I was like, yeah, shoot. I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, it works. I think I feel like we'll be able to get some analysis off, and in the way that you and I talk is different than the way that Zach or Bryce will be on for that pod. So I mean, yes, we'll be talking about similar things, but how we'll break that down and how we'll talk about it's a little bit different. So I think it works out for everybody, and I'm looking forward to getting that going because the playoffs are coming up here soon, JD. Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh yeah, and that leads us into our first segment, which is not good news, but it's going to hurt them in the playoffs. The Boston Celtics lost Jaylen Brown to injury today. He is done for the season. Boston, has had their ups and downs. They haven't really gotten everybody to be consistent, and Tatum has gone on the record multiple times and said there's been some COVID issues, and he's still fighting through that. But I mean, now you don't have a guy who is a top candidate for most improved. JD, he's been fantastic this season. He's been an all-star level guy. He's really taken the next step, and Boston, now is in a position where, they're not going to have their second best player when they need him. And that's, obviously not good.
Yeah. Not even just that, you know how big I am on Jaylen Brown, but.
Oh yeah, you are. Yeah.
To go along with that, he's actually been a most consistent piece all season. Yeah. We know that Tatum is the face of the organization. Don't get me wrong, but
sure.
Tatum has, as you stated, he's spoken about still dealing with COVID. A lot of times Jaylen Brown had to take the reins and lead the team. And Tatum, when he's good, but it's a lot of times where you can see him out there laboring where it looks as if he's getting tired fairly early in the game. But I think it takes the team from being a dangerous team upon the matchup, but now it takes it to the point where I don't see them making it past the play-in.
That's fair. No, that's fair. They just, when everybody's been really skeptical. I mean, there's a lot of people skeptical about Kemba and his play. And so there's not some do not think he's reliable. And Marcus Smart, I mean, I don't think he's had as productive of a year as they would have wanted. And
he's been out. It's a team never been healthy.
Right. And, things just really have not gone their way this season. And so, for this to happen almost kind of summarizes the entire season for them. It's just things haven't gone their way. Signings haven't gone their way. Development really, besides the stars, haven't gone their way. Mm-hmm. And then, overall, I mean, the front office has been lousy. All right. You're trading away Daniel Tice for saving on the luxury tax. Yeah. Oh, and then by the way, cutting the guy you traded him for and then citing Jabari Parker. So I feel like this is the summary of Boston's season. It's just been ridiculous. So, I mean, yes, obviously we wish Jaylen the best here at the network. I mean, we obviously know what he can do, for crying out loud. So not seeing him in the playoffs, it sucks. It sucks.
Definitely a huge fan of him. He when you think about the players that I like, he's literally one of the stereotypical guys that I like, two-way wing.
Yeah, you love you some two-way wings. You love some two-way wings the way that I like a McDonald's Sprite, a large McDonald's Sprite. I'm addicted to the McDonald's Sprite. You like the two-way wings. It works out perfectly. But in all seriousness, though, with the Celtics, real quick, we'll just get into one little thing and then we'll get into kind of the gist of where we're going. How are they going to replace this, JD? They have no depth. This team is really outside of the Fournier move. It's just a very bland team. Are you going to tell me that Semi Ojeleye suddenly becomes even more dependable when we all know what he is? And then you have to tell me that they're going to rely on a rookie who's been playing better in Nesmith. But I don't see how Boston's going to replace these minutes in an effective way. It just seems like a total disaster.
Yeah. At this point, at this rate, I don't like the lineup that I just seen them use versus Miami with starting Kemba, Fournier, Smart at the 3, and Tatum at the 4. I don't like it. I think you may actually have to put Tatum at the 3, and crazy as this may sound, you might have to start Jabari. Because playing everybody, playing this small. I mean, you have one defender out there. You got two defenders, but one who's going to defend every play. Tatum is laboring still. Like some games he got the lungs, and some games he don't. If you plan this lineup and this one of the days that he don't, who can you really say, hey, Kemba, stop him? Evan Fournier, stop him. Yeah. Robert Williams is hurt right now, battling turf toe. Tristan Thompson undersized. So, like, where do you really receive any help at if you Marcus Smart? Like, at least with
maybe Khloe Kardashian can help Tristan Thompson a little bit. Maybe that could help him out.
Yeah.
Maybe that could get some energy for Tristan.
He might need to go appear on the episode.
There you go.
It might be that.
He might need to go on The View of the Kardashians.
And offensively, it's kind of the same thing. It's like just the space is still gonna be bad. Right. Kemba's not Kemba this year. Marcus Smart has his days as always, but it's been less good than bad this year. Fournier still battling with COVID at the same time with the issues lingering with him. We know Jabari Parker can give you a couple of good buckets. Like that's literally the only person off the bench I could think of, because who else do we think of as saying may like Semi Ojeleye,
like Grant Williams. But I don't know if Grant Williams really.
Yeah, but they trying to make him a shooter.
Yeah,
and it's one of the things that I hate the most. You can't make Grant Williams a shooter. He's a high energy player. You turn this guy to a shooter, everything that he provides turned into nothing. Like if he's taking 2 or 3 corner threes, I hate it. Let him take one. Everything else should be his high energy rolling.
Yeah.
Getting put back. Just letting his motor run loose.
Sure.
Because outside of that, you're limited everywhere. And you know, I'm very critical of Boston because I feel like they always had what it took, but the front office is not making the best decisions, and
sure, yeah,
it is ruining them. I mean, right now, when you look at what they could have been,
yeah,
if they simply stop big fish hunting, if they stop big fish hunting, they would be in an okay position right now. Even with Brown going down, you still would have had somebody who knows the system. And I'm speaking to Terry Rozier. You still would have had somebody that knows the system, knows how to play well with Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart. He's battle tested in the playoffs. We've seen what anytime you put Eric Bledsoe on the floor, Terry Rozier goes insane. He had 43 last night.
Yeah. He did. Yeah, he did.
So we know that he's ready. We seen him go at he got a dunk over Durant this year. So we know Scary Terry has no fear in his heart as well. Sure. He's one of them guys that if they didn't go big fish hunting, you wouldn't have had this question mark next to Kimba. You would have had somebody who knows what to do when the big guy go down, a star guy go down.
100%. It's putting them in positions where I just think it's just so hard for them to get out of the first round. JD, I don't see how they're going to do it. I don't, given where they are seeding wise. No, that too. Part of me, it's not looking good for them. And I mean, off to next year they're thinking, I guess. They're thinking next year. So
they have
there
to.
You go. Yeah.
Who can we see them beating? Like right now, the pace is coming back healthy. Malcolm Brogdon will be back. So Warren out, Lamb out, but if they still got Malcolm Brogdon and Sabonis, I mean, they win easily. Sabonis can't be answered by Boston. Boston doesn't have a match for him. Right. Malcolm Brogdon is going to be that steady guy that he is anyway. With the Wizards, they have nobody to guard Westbrook now. And on top of it, Bradley Beal is going to be Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
We can't expect neither one of these teams to be great defensive teams.
Sure.
So when it comes to the scoring battle, I'm going to take the guy who's averaging a triple-double and the other guy who's fighting for a leading scorer in the league over Boston.
Right.
With
100%.
Charlotte.
Yeah. No.
With Charlotte even. This is a steady team getting healthier. Can we really see a team that's throwing 10 guys out there on a regular lose to a team that only has 3 pieces that knows how to play?
Well, no, I mean, in the same part, it's like, I mean, it's the truth. I mean, it's how Boston's looking right now. It just looks dysfunctional. I mean, it doesn't look good. But let's not talk too deep on Boston because we got to talk about what we like. We got to talk about what we like in the Eastern Conference, JD.
Absolutely.
And so I'm gonna start with this, JD. I'm gonna start with the team that, I'm not gonna be the guy that sits there and says, "Oh, the Brooklyn Nets are great." I'm not doing that. Okay. I mean, we all know what they're capable of. Mm-hmm. What I'm pleased to see right now is I'm just really digging Giannis right now. I'm just digging what he can. I'm digging him right now. And I'm digging the Bucks. I'm not like Alex. Okay. But I like the Bucks and I think they're solid. And I like what they're doing because I feel like they need to get talked about a slight bit more, just simply because
they need a little bit of love, of love.
Yeah. Yes. And Giannis has had a very good season. That's been very quiet. Yeah. And it's some of it's just because our expectations of him are so high and the likeliness that he's going to overwhelm those expectations now is just slimmer than slim. But I mean, he's having a really nice season and it seems like the depth is picking up for them, JD. And I know that you have some potential concerns with them. So is that a team that you like or is that a team that you push back against here?
It's in the middle for me.
Okay.
And it's only because of this. And it's kind of where it is with how people view the Clippers right now.
Sure.
It's only going to matter in the playoffs. Can he sustain this in the playoffs? And this is why I push against it.
Sure.
Giannis should not be dribbling the ball from the 3-point line in to create a play. You have somebody who can run the pick and roll with Giannis every play, and it turns into something good. Now that's what AB is so high on them for, because Drew Holiday changes a lot. But this is my thing: you can have the personnel, but do you have the play calling? Do you have the IQ to point out these mismatches? And when you think about Milwaukee, I'm not putting all of that on Mike Budenholzer, because at the same time, when your best player is truly the best player, it becomes a time where what they say has to go on because they're the one on the court.
Right.
For instance, when LeBron hit the game winner on my Bulls that year, the play was meant for Kyrie to take the shot. LeBron was supposed to take the ball out. LeBron, he said on air, I scratched that play. Last year in the finals, when Bam went out, Jimmy said, I told Jay to take Bron. I wanted to harass AD, and I told him we'll switch off. When the Bucks got put out a couple years ago, Kawhi went to what's my guy name? The coach of the Raptors.
Dwayne Casey?
No.
Dwayne Casey at the time? Nick Nurse?
Nurse. That's his name.
Nick Nurse. Okay, gotcha.
I couldn't think of it. He's the one that told Nurse, I'm going to pick up Giannis. We have seen this the last 2 years. Giannis didn't go back and guard Kawhi Leonard. And when Kawhi started fishing for Giannis and Brook Lopez to switch on to him.
Yeah.
And then last season, Giannis didn't look to guard Jimmy Butler. He didn't look to guard Bam. He wanted to guard Jay Crowder. And Jay Crowder had a great series. And then when he did choose to guard Jimmy, he fouled him at the end of the game. This is the kind of IQ that I'm talking about from your star best player. I think the only way that this will work is if Drew Holiday is the one calling out what's going to happen, because Drew Holiday can be that voice on the defensive end. I like PJ Tucker. I think everybody knows what PJ Tucker can do. I don't want PJ Tucker being the voice of that defense. I don't.
That's fair.
I enjoy his competitive spirit. I love it. That's something that I want in all my players, but I don't want him being the voice for this simple reason. He's not the best defensive player. It's Drew Holiday.
Yeah. Sure.
Drew Holiday knows the help that he need on that defensive end, and Drew Holiday should be the one running things on offensive end. We've seen the fluidity that they play with when Giannis is out because of Drew Holiday. So in the playoffs, this is the way we're going to play. We just go bring in our best player. Now, imagine Giannis being a roller and not Brook Lopez, not Bobby Portis. Now answer to that with PJ Tucker in the corner, Brent Forrest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, most definitely.
I'm
Bucks
in the middle.
They're a team that I feel like, depending on how you think of them, it really just depends on what you think of Giannis and his role, right? If you think Giannis is going to sit there and chuck the three, then you may not be that high on him. But if Giannis is going to be a leader, right? And I think that's I really do think, JD, that's the big thing, right? Can we just see it more on the court? It seems like everybody respects him. It's not like nobody's saying, "Oh, Giannis is awful as a teammate."
Yeah.
It's just can he show more vocal? Can he show more of that vocal leadership? Because, I mean, we're not talking about a player that's just a cute top 15 guy. I mean, we're talking about a guy this season alone, who's been a top 5 guy this season. He's been a top 5 guy. And when you're a top 5 player this season, you need to come in and use and show that mentality, not only just on the court where you can get to the paint all the time, but in your communication and within your coach and how you go about that, because
establishing his dominance.
Right. And I agree with you on Tucker. Like, I like Tucker. I'm not saying Tucker's bad, but I don't want to see Tucker as my main communicator on defense. I would honestly, JD, I'd like to see Giannis be the communicator on defense. He's a defensive player of the year candidate every sticking year. I
think really he should be, but I completely agree. He should be the voice, but that's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
we ain't seen it. We haven't seen it before, so I gotta go with the guy who I know for sure has done it.
Yeah.
He stopped Damian Lillard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Guy who,
fair point.
We know what he needs. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
That's why my question is can Giannis really step into this role that we know he needs to, and understand he shouldn't be the guy standing out there shooting threes? Like, it's okay not to be afraid to shoot the three. That's not the thing.
Right.
The thing is, if you knock one down and now they stepping up on you, now you take advantage. Don't keep shooting them.
Yeah.
Now,
don't
step
settle,
up on the best offensive player and say, I got this. Drew, you cut off whoever else. PJ, you got this guy. Let be the voice that DeAndre Jordan was for the Clippers defense for all those years.
Sure. I mean, because he's a guy that, in the Eastern Conference, if you really think about it, we've only seen 7 games of the top 3 stars in Brooklyn, right? We know what Philly's capable of, sure, but there's a map and there's an ability that the Bucks have to potentially go really far. And I feel like this is a good year for them to do that. They've got the pieces. Clearly, Giannis is having a great season, and you have to think that somebody like Drew Holiday would be fired up to actually go on a playoff team that can win a stinking series. Yeah. I think there's a lot to like there, and I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do in the playoffs, but obviously we'll continue that talk. So JD, I'll hand this question to you. What do you like team wise from the Eastern Conference?
As far as just one team, or
just one team? Just go one team. We'll go one team and break it down a little bit.
Philly.
I
was talking about Philly since last off season. When they made these acquisitions, and I told everybody, Joel getting swept by Boston, it hurts him more than what people know, because he had great numbers, but he was by himself. Sure. And he said being swept made him feel like a loser. He didn't win nothing. And this is how he felt without Ben Simmons. So now that he's already established out loud what Ben Simmons means to him, he came in and literally he's not dominating just his opposing center. He's dominating the entire team. Yeah. We've seen a game versus Boston. How did every center have 3 fouls in the first quarter? No,
they did. No, they did. They can't stop them. They can't stop them.
And this is just talking about MB, and that's my MVP. I'm standing strong on that. I'm standing strong on that. I haven't seen this dominance from. We've seen what Giannis did these last 2 years, right, in the regular season. But a lot of what Giannis was doing these last 2 years was fast breaks and semi-fast breaks. We have seen them be, we gonna run fast. I could come as the trailer and dunk on who's down there. I can Euro step past any guy down there. I can be the trailer for a 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But then if we slow the game down,
sure.
You in my world, who's gonna stop me 1-on-1? I mean,
nobody. I mean, Alex would like to say Marc Gasol.
Everybody is at his mercy. Everybody in the league is at his mercy.
Yeah.
And then this is the best part about it. He has been showing he can pass out the double and triple teams this year.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is what I love the most. People talk about Ben only can score if you post Ben up. No, Ben best job on offense as a scorer is cutting. And Joel looks to Ben to cut every play. Yeah. Because if you don't, it's not Ben Simmons throwing the entry pass to Joel.
Sure.
It's Danny Green and Seth Curry.
Yeah.
So now you double off for one of them. These are guaranteed 40% for their careers, both of them.
Sure.
On the other side, you got the other shooter. And then as the guy who's playing the in-between game, it's Tobias Harris.
He's good, man.
And Tobias is the guy I talk about all the time. I need to see this Tobias in the playoffs.
That's fair.
Then I will be the believer in Philly. But just based off of what they doing this year from every other year, it's starting on defense. It started on defense. Tobias somehow looked like a solid defender defensively. Seth Curry ain't been no slouch on defense. We know Danny Green a solid defender, but this is where it all goes in for me at. Ben Simmons is Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, we want to lock it in. We want to lock it in on LynnSanity. Let's lock it in, JD.
Let me tell you something. We talk about what Drew Holiday did to Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
I've never seen nobody do what Ben Simmons did to Damian Lillard. I've never seen nobody do what Ben Simmons has done to Giannis every time he's Giannis' primary defender.
Yeah. No, he puts on a show. Yeah.
We seen him get into Devin Booker.
Oh, yeah.
We have seen Ben Simmons display this year alone.
Sure.
Some of the greatest defensive efforts inside and outside. Because when Joel went out, I want to speak on this. I'm sorry, I got it.
No, you're good, dude. You're good. I love it. Yeah, go ahead.
When Joel went out, Ben Simmons became a scorer. Sure. He put up his career high versus two-time Defensive Player of the Year winner in Utah. Ben Simmons can't shoot the ball, right?
Sure.
Gobert's a rim protector. Why did Ben Simmons attempt 0 threes and put up 42 points? On, know what I'm saying? Ain't this the guy that we saying is battling for Defensive Player of the Year with Ben Simmons? I'm sorry. Right. A non-scorer shouldn't give you 42, and you know what he's doing every play.
Sure.
Ben Simmons has brought it every time Joel goes to the bench. Joel has to miss games. Ben Simmons has been an elite top 10 player in so many of these games on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Tobias stepping up. And this is the part that I love the most.
Sure.
It's a team that everybody rebounds on. They hardly lose the rebound battle because
good point.
It's been games where all three of them had double-digit rebounds. Embiid, Tobias, and Ben Simmons.
That's so lethal.
Like that's in the playoffs, in a slowed down game. The rebound battle is huge. I mean, look at the second efforts that led the Lakers to winning it all. Because it's a team, they got a bunch of gang rebounders. Then the year before, when Milwaukee was one of the best rebounding teams in the league, when they lost to Toronto,
sure,
in the closeout game, Kawhi Leonard had 17 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds off of his own free throws. Golden State every year before, Steph was coming up with 7-8 rebounds. Draymond 7-8 rebounds. KD 7-8 to double digit. In the playoffs, your team have to be a rebounding team. This is one of the best rebounding teams in the entire league.
Sure.
With a strong defensive game. 3-point, they don't put up a lot of threes, but they got a nice percentage from the three, which shows that they knocking it down when they shoot it, but they got the most unstoppable force in basketball in Joel Embiid.
Sure.
And somebody that you rarely can score on in Ben Simmons. It's one of them teams that this is the team here. I say that head to head with Brooklyn, right? Sure. Imagine this. This is why I've been trying to tell people.
Okay.
Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Kevin Durant gonna get his.
Yeah.
But Joel Embiid is Joel Embiid. You have no match for Joel Embiid. The same way there's no match for Kevin Durant. And Embiid is on the block, so he's liable to get the foul calls more. So he's able to give you what Kevin Durant is giving you. The question turns to can Tobias hold his own as far as the scoring matchup goes with one of the other guys, Harden or Kyrie, because you gotta exert Ben Simmons to the defensive end. You have to exert Ben Simmons only to the defensive end because Brooklyn is a high turnover team. The more that they turn it over, the better Ben Simmons will be on your offensive end.
Right.
Now, so just from that perspective, I think they have all the answers and weapons to take the East.
That's fair. I mean, they definitely have the capability to do it. And I think you have a good point there with Ben, JD. Look, I mean, I despite Ben's, people talking about, he's not the same statistically as in years past. If you watch this guy, you clearly know he's better. I mean, he's better. Absolutely. You know that Doc has put him in situations where he's a better player. And, something about Doc and Tobias, I don't know what it is, but Tobias needs to just keep sticking with Doc. I mean, he's been really awesome. And but in all seriousness, I've always really liked him.
I agree.
Right. It's like one of those things where like, it's so interesting. Just like you come from really getting skeptical criticism when you were with Brett Brown. And then all of a sudden you go back with Doc and then you become the on the verge all-star, dang near all-star type of player. It's just, sometimes it's for players, they just sometimes have that guy that just is going to get the most out of them. That's Tobias's guy. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I like the depth. I think Philly's got really good depth. I think Doc's a really good coach. I think he fits that team really well. And, I'm right with you on Philly. I'm very curious. One thing I'm very curious of, JD, is I'm curious to see how they use Tyrese Maxey in the playoffs because I'm a big Maxey guy.
I like him.
I think he's really, really good. And I mean, I know he's a rookie. And so there's going to be criticism about, well, hey, he's a rookie. Can you trust him in the playoffs? I'm very curious to see what they on
that ball.
No, right. No,
I mean, the ball. Him and Tybalt are on the ball.
You got to play him. I think you have to find a way to play him. I understand like it's not normal, but like, especially for a team like that good to play a rookie, but like he should be because he just gives them so much. I mean, he's one of my favorite parts when I watch the Philadelphia 76ers, his ball pressure and his ball handling for them has been wickedly awesome. And I mean, I know people wanted Kyle Lowry there, but I don't blame them for not wanting to trade Tyrese Maxey. I can't blame him. He's really good. So, I mean, it's one of those things where, we'll find out more about them, as we move forward and seeding positions as of right now. They are the number 1 seed in the East. They are up 3 games in the for that, up 3 games over the 2nd seed of Brooklyn Nets. So it seems like, hey, Sixers are going to get the number 1 seed and everything's going to go well. But, we'll look into that later on how that goes. But JD, do you have any, team that you are concerned with that we haven't talked about? Team that you're like, hey, they're in the playoffs, but man, I'm slightly concerned about what they can do. I mean, I know you said a lot about Boston, but did you have another one?
It's 2, but I'm gonna go with the one that got my second favorite player. I'm worried about Miami.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot for you.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in Jimmy. I believe.
Oh yeah, you do.
I believe Jimmy can gather the troops. My only thing is because of they had so many guys in and out the lineup. Victor Oladipo has shown what he could do on the defensive end since being he hasn't been offensively, and he has missed a lot of games now. Kendrick Nunn has been in and out the lineup, and he has been pretty solid for them scoring the ball every time. We know Goran Dragic gonna show up. Tyler Hero been in and out the lineup, but Tyler Hero, somebody you actually gotta say he showed up last playoff, so he's earned his rotation spot.
Sure.
The question just become what Miami team are we getting? Are we going to get the Miami team that's playing the Miami Heat basketball way, or the ones that's lollygagging because they made it to they made it to the finals last year? Sometimes they don't look like that same finals team.
Yeah,
it's sometimes where I think Bam is being too passive. I think he's not being nearly aggressive enough. I think Trevor Ariza takes too many shots at times.
Yeah, Ariza just has to piss you off, doesn't it? I mean, it just doesn't make sense why we're giving him this many shots. If I'm a Miami fan, I mean, oh my gosh.
I love Trevor Ariza, but I don't like Trevor Ariza taking 20 plus shots.
No, heavens no.
It's times where I question why Jimmy not being more aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, we know Jimmy the second half is Jimmy time, the fourth quarter specifically. But it's sometimes where we need 8 points this first half. Jimmy, wake the team up.
Right.
I love the action that Duncan Robinson still get. Duncan Robinson is still himself. It's just when it's a guy who can't create his own shot, he's limited.
Yeah.
Then it's really and another thing, just the health. Like Victor Oladipo, he brought so much defensively. Like, you've seen the team showing who they could be defensively his first couple games over there, but then offensively they couldn't score. So it becomes a question. And then I like the addition of Dwayne Dedmon. You know, we talked about this, but
I know.
In certain situations, I agree with you. I do want to see Precious run wild.
Yeah, come on, Eric. What are we doing?
In certain situations, I want to see Precious run wild.
Right.
Like, you got to know what teams you can play Dedmon against and Precious against. I think if we play in the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm gonna play Dedmon. But if I'm playing Boston, I'm playing Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take the guy. I'm gonna take Precious. He's gonna run nonstop.
I love that guy. I love that guy. Let's keep playing him, right? I mean, let's keep playing him. They spent. I mean, like, for crying out loud, JD, I mean, I understand, like, the veteran presence. I understand that, but, like, to a certain point, like, you want to make sure that this guy can develop, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're not, if I told you, hey, I'm only going to play basketball for like an hour, like once a week, and like, it's inconsistent. I can't. It's like, but then all of a sudden I don't play 1 week, and then I don't have to play the other week. It's like, dude, like, he needs some consistency.
Yeah, he needs some reps.
He needs some consistency.
I think the same with Kendrick Nunn. I literally think the same with Kendrick Nunn. It's just Kendrick Nunn is one of those guys.
Yeah,
he's proven that he's always ready. You don't want to let Precious lose any confidence within himself.
That's fair. No, JD, I got a joke for you on Kendrick Nunn. I don't know if you're going to like it, but I got a joke for you. So when I watch Kendrick Nunn, you know what I think of when I watch Kendrick Nunn? I think of a hot pocket, because the guy's literally Kendrick Nunn's a hot pocket. He has times where he just sits there and he just drains 20 points and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And he just does it so fast, you know, and it's like, it feels just as good as a fresh hot pocket. And then all of a sudden, if the hot pocket's cold, it's just bad. And Kendrick Nunn, when it's cold, it's cold. It's bad. They really need to figure out a way to get the highs. Really find a consistency with him, because they didn't really mess a lot with him last playoffs. I feel like they need to. He needs to play. I mean, what are you doing?
Dragic was unbelievable last playoffs.
Right. And you know, I get not playing him a ton, but it's like, you need to find a way to play this guy.
Yeah.
He's a good player, and you can't just sit there and have this good player and then just never play him in the playoffs. Like, it's not going to work. Like, not effective. It's not effective for your players' development, nor is it effective for you.
Yeah. I think for Miami, they too deep. Miami maybe has 2-3 guys at almost every position, to the point of, all right, who's going to take the sacrifice? But at the same time, it's up to the coach to say, hey, all right, this is what I need right now. And I love what Vic brings to them defensively. I love that Goran Dragic is a steady hand, but if I just need a opportunity to get a bucket, I'm gonna have Kendrick Nunn out there with my second unit, just for the simple fact. Yeah, he's hit or miss, but it's a lot of times.
Oh yeah,
he just go light it up, and he does it effortlessly.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. JD, do you have a couple players that you're liking right now that you haven't mentioned? In Eastern Conference specifically, is there anybody jumping out to you that's been like, man, he's really good and he's just going to keep it going that you haven't mentioned yet?
Absolutely.
Oh, go ahead.
Former MVP. He's over there on the New York Knicks with his second stint. Derrick Rose, man.
You're going to go with D Rose.
I love what Derrick Rose mean for them. I mean, proof is in the pudding. They just beat the Clips, and it was not because of Julius Randle, how the headline saying it. Yeah, sure. he made two dagger jump shots.
Sure.
Derrick Rose started the game off 8 of 8.
Huh.
Derrick Rose started the game off 8 of 8.
Yeah, right.
25.
Yeah.
He was the one running the pick and rolls to get a smaller guy switched on to Julius Randle. Yeah, Randle made the shot, but let's not forget who made the play.
Sure.
Sure. Derrick Rose, man.
Yeah.
Since being traded over there, man.
But let's do a favor though for my eyes. Can I do a favor for my eyes? I'd like to see Elfrid Payton sitting on a seat, comfortable, a cushion. Maybe just sit the bench. Maybe do what I do, JD, when I watch a game. How about that? Just sit there. Can you just sit there? Like I don't need Elfrid Payton in my life. I have a guy in Derrick Rose who's doing it right and doing well. I have to think that Quickly is going to be a factor. I know he didn't play against the Clippers, but I have to think Quickly's good. Quickly's good. Play Quickly.
I like Quickly.
They need to play him. I'm sick and tired of I mean, I don't even care that Elfrid Payton gets 16 minutes. That's just stupid. You don't play. He doesn't need to start.
Yeah, I'll play Quickly.
Oh yeah, you got to use him. You got to find ways to use him more. And the Knicks have been an awesome story, man. Look, they're getting production from so many guys. I mean, R.J. Barrett and Randall have obviously been two guys, but JD, I know a guy that I've talked about with some people that's just kind of like under the radar for them, who's been shockingly really good. Guys like Reggie Bullock.
I knew it. I knew you was about to say
Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock was a guy that I thought had absolutely no business in the NBA. He had no business in the NBA last season. In fact, he had no business. He should have been. But JD, he's like
he never.
There's
produced.
No way that anybody could have thought this.
Yeah, he never produced, but the way Tibbs using them, I love it. I mean, he scored their first 7 points yesterday. In their last game, he scored the first 7 points.
He's so good, man. His defense has gotten better. He's getting. I mean, he played 46 minutes. He is a guy that certainly needs to. That's if you want to know an example of why Tom Thibodeau should be coach of the year, and you don't want to mention Julius Randle because it's obvious. Mention Reggie Bullock, okay? Because Reggie Bullock playing 46 minutes ago, or 46 minutes in a game, when he was on, could anybody have pictured that when he was on the Chris Paul Clipper teams? Anybody? 46 minutes? No. It's pretty mind-boggling what he's done for them. He's really changed it. I feel like they have to re-sign him. JD, he's a good player. You have to re-sign him. Because I know he's getting closer to free agency. I have to think they're going to make a move there. And if he goes to a contender, he goes to a contender. But I mean, his team's contending, and he's a big part of it. So I don't know why he'd leave. Yeah. And
I mean, they got Taj Gibson playing meaningful minutes again.
Sure, they do. Yeah. And it's insane because no Mitchell Robinson, who I really like.
Kevin Knox don't get no clock.
Oh, Kevin Knox. Oh,
2 years ago, that was a name people like mentioning.
Oh yeah, they did. They're back at home in their blankies. But look, I mean, the way that I see the Knicks, I agree, JD. It's a great suggestion for a player. For the East, I'm going to go with a little bit of a different. It's not really a different direction. I'm just going to go with a guy that I think has proven me wrong He's a guy that has proven me wrong this season.
Surprise me. I think I know who.
You probably do. I'm gonna go with Trae Young, man, because I at one point was a beloved Young hater. I was a beloved hater of this man. I did not think he could lead to winning basketball. I did not think that his skills would lead to winning basketball, but certainly they have. They're 6 games over 500. They're they're going to make the playoffs. You have to think they're going to make the playoffs. And it's look like somebody like the way that McMillan has came in and has shaped the team and has changed the culture is remarkable. It is like he's getting guys to do things that I don't think I know I couldn't have imagined. With
you got Gallinari being good again.
Well, I can't go too deep.
Bogdanovich.
Come on. You know how I feel about both of them. Come on.
I know, but they actually playing a lot better now. I can't take it away from them.
No, I
was right there with you. I was right there with you saying the same thing.
They're better.
They playing a lot better.
Alex Burr, Bogdanovich, and Danilo Gallinari are better. Okay, have fun and clip that if you want. All I'm saying is that with the way that Trae's played, it's more. Sure, the numbers might be down. Okay, I'm not saying that the numbers aren't like great. Okay, but the numbers are still really good. But he's leading to wins, and it's something I didn't expect, something I never saw coming, and I have to give him credit for that. And I've been giving him credit for that over the last couple of pods, but I need to do it again. So I'll go with that one. But next up, we'll just do another quick one, choice. JD. Who are you concerned with? Is there anybody? Well, actually, you talked about Miami. Is there anybody else that you want to mention in about the East that we haven't talked about yet? Just in general. Is there a team you want to talk about in general?
I think everybody know where they stand for the most part.
There you go. I'm hoping that the play-in stays relatively the same, although it might be good for the Pacers to get out of it. But it would be
they need to.
Yeah, they do. They need a draft pick. But other than that, the standings look relatively solid. It seems like everybody's pretty good given the situations, and we'll just see where that goes. But JD, that leads us into the Western Conference, and JD, I guess just a quick thing here. What do we like? What do we like from the West right now? Is there a team that you like in the West that's just caught your eye this season, that's given you a little more than you expected?
I don't know if I don't know. Like, the West is a huge question mark for me due to injuries.
That's fair.
Like, everybody been hurt, and it's taken away so much of what, everybody's expectations definitely wasn't this, but it's taken away some of the joy of watching the West this season, because
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
A lot of nights we watching teams where the third best player is the best player on the court for like 30 minutes of the game. And I don't know. I don't really like it. Utah impressive, but they've been the only healthy team until now.
Yeah,
with Donovan Mitchell going out. With Phoenix, we seen Phoenix turning the corner at the end of the season. Bringing in Chris Paul was a huge help, but at the same time, a lot of injuries also help elevate them to this level. With the Clippers, I love the Rondo addition. Obviously, he's helped them, but I need to see what they team gonna look like in the playoffs. Everybody's still hurt over there. Denver, it's a cute story saying that they lost 2 or 3 games with Jamal Murray out. Playoff basketball come. I like Michael Porter Jr., but I'll just say this. Him and Jamal Murray a lot alike. If they own, you got a great chance at winning. If not, sucks to be you. Yeah. Dallas, obviously I'm not sold on Dallas. I'm not going to go too much into Dallas. Luke, I'm tired of Luka throwing like these hits.
You have been tired of Luka lately. You've been tired of it.
Like, I'm so tired of the crying. Like, you are in the man's league. I know you young, but be a man. I'm so tired of him crying about everything. Portland, cute story. They got some guys I like over there, obviously, but
okay.
I don't.
What about Enes Kanter? You like Enes Kanter, JD? You like Enes Kanter?
A lot of people don't. I like Enes Kanter.
Okay, Kevin. Okay.
A lot of people hate Enes Kanter.
I'm not a Kanter guy, so I just wanted to ask.
I know. I like what he brings on the offensive end. A lot of people don't like Enes Kanter.
He's a good rebounder. He's a great rebounder. How about that? He's a great rebounder. Yeah.
If the ball comes off and he's down there, he will get it and put it back up. He will leave. Sure will. He will leave a play with 2 points, 1 rebound regularly.
Yeah.
But Lakers, we know the Lakers don't belong this low, but at the same time, not only is injuries a huge part over there, but I don't think the Lakers are really interested in playing right now. Like this,
I don't either.
A lot of times they look like a team that has no life over there.
Yep, they do.
Golden State, cute story. They the 8th seed now. Ooh, Steph could be called the MVP for now because they're an 8th seed. He's not the MVP. I don't care what nobody say.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm tired of people bringing up these last 2 months. Well, damn. I guess doing it for a full season means nothing. I guess being in the 10th seed into the last 2 games means nothing. So yeah, I can't really say I like nobody out west. It's too many question marks to just say anybody's standing out to me right now.
Yeah.
A lot of good teams, but I can't just say anybody standing out to me.
Well, I'll play the game. I'll just say I'm completely shocked that Utah is 50-18. I don't know if I would have been able to say Utah was 50-18. And I understand that I understand that, right, Mitchell's not, he's hurt right now and obviously, but he's coming back, right?
Yeah.
And
I do
ahead,
like that Mike Conley has been Mike Conley this year. I do like that. And I do like I can't say I do like the Joe Ingles and Bogdanovich. I love when they on the floor together. I don't know why, but I just love seeing them on the floor together. But let me say this. They lost 2 games to the Minnesota Timberwolves back-to-back. Karl Anthony Towns killed Gobert back-to-back. I'm sick of people saying
you love hating on Gobert. You love it.
Bro, it's not even
a passion of yours.
It's not hating when I'm speaking facts. Listen, Rudy Gobert is always getting talked about as, he keeps their defense this, he keeps that. Let me tell you something. And hear me loud and clear.
Sure.
Ben Simmons gave him 42. And Ben Simmons can't shoot, right?
Yeah, right.
Karl Anthony Towns and the Minnesota Timberwolves are 13th. 13th in the West.
13th.
Karl Anthony Towns not only dunked on Rudy Gobert. Oh, Michael Porter Jr. did the other day. not only dunked on him, but beat him two nights in a row. I'm sorry. That's can't fair. Tell me the number 1 team in the league. All right, they best player missing. Right? Yeah. They just beat Denver without their best player. So I'm not finna use Donovan Mitchell not playing versus Minnesota as an excuse.
No, it's fair. I mean, Utah's got a lot of they've got a lot of talent, and clearly, when you're a number 1 seed, you should be able to beat a team like Minnesota. The thing I really like about them, JD, there's a couple pieces, right? I mean, really good Clarkson season. This is a really good Clarkson season.
I love it.
He's always been able to score really well, but certainly didn't expect him to. Top 6-man candidate, 6-man of the year candidate for sure. Maybe just a shoe-in for a lot of people. He's been awesome. The other factor for me that I think that they've been able to do really well is it's the whole idea, JD, they took it in a weird way. They took advantage of the pandemic in the sense of they didn't bring in anybody that they didn't already play with.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't, which they didn't use it as an excuse, and not every team did not use it as an excuse, but I just think
they bonded clearly a lot more.
They what they did was they said, okay, well, let's just try it this way. Let's just bring people back, and let's understand that we've had our fair share of criticism about how far we've gotten in the playoffs, but let's try it anyway, and let's see where it goes. And I mean, look, they I don't know if they can get much better than a number 1 seed, JD. Exactly. And if they get a number 1 seed, then you can't use the excuse of, you got to play the 4-5, or we got to play the Clippers in the second round, or we got to play the Lakers in the first. No, they got to come out and they got to. They did what they needed to do. The question now is, can they finish the job? Right, a number 1 seed is a number 1 seed. I don't buy the fact that it's like, well, the Lakers are the 7th seed and the Clippers are the. No, you're the number 1 seed. You're the number 1 seed. Do something.
Hold them to what you did in Milwaukee the last 2 years.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Hold them to the same standards. What's even better? What's even better for them, they got a better record than Milwaukee did at this point.
Yeah, good point. Is there a player that you're liking in the West right now, JD? You're just thinking needs some time to shine here. Is there anybody that you're enjoying right now? Anybody that needs to get a little bit more credit?
I'm not gonna say this guy name because obviously, I think people starting to say a lot now, so I'm not gonna mention him, but I'm gonna mention 2 of his teammates.
Okay, go ahead.
Nah, Kawhi been out, so I was gonna mention Paul George.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
playing really well. He's been playing really well. You're not talking to somebody that's conning Paul George here.
Yeah, I'm not going to get too much into Paul George just for the simple fact. I'll say this. If you still got anything bad to say about Paul George, watch his games versus Phoenix this year. I'm going to end it there.
There you go.
But I want to mention Rajon Rondo.
Oh, yeah, you love Rondo.
You know I love Rondo.
You love Rondo, yeah.
I love Rondo. But you know who he got to come over there, who's been a very, very great third backup center?
Go ahead.
Boogie.
Yeah, Boogie.
He getting double teamed every time he catches it, and it's leading to wide open threes.
Yeah.
I have to mention these two because
that's fair.
They veteran leadership is impacting the game in so many different ways.
Sure.
And that's really the only thing because I think we could talk about a lot of these other teams. I thought about Michael Porter Jr., but I already said Michael Porter Jr., he been doing his thing all season in my eyes. I can't go against that, but 2 guys that's been on the move and coming in and impacting a team with high expectations and making them look unbeatable at times when fully healthy, that's when you got to start thinking like, if Rondo coming off the bench, and I mean, Luke Kennard, a 46% 3-point shooter, it's being left wide open due to what Rajon Rondo bringing. Marcus Morris shooting career high. Paul George shooting career high. Now you got Rajon Rondo throwing them the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Kawhi Leonard catching it on the block.
Right.
You got Boogie Cousins hitting Nick Batum, who's shooting a career high from the corner 3. Like, when you start thinking, like, these dudes impacting the game, not with they scoring. Did they playing the type of basketball that the top level teams need and usually have to win? It wasn't until Rajon Rondo came back that the Lakers became an over the top team last year.
Right.
I mean, Boogie Cousins obviously not going to have all these minutes, but when you think about when they just lost to Denver, it was Boogie Cousins who brought them back guarding Jokic.
Right.
Jokic couldn't guard him the same way that he couldn't guard Jokic. He's the only center that you can say pretty much in the West can go back at Jokic and say, I could get a bucket when you get a bucket. I'm speaking centers. And can fight him on every rebound. He's not the passer of Jokic, but he's one of the most respected passers in the game. It's always with Boogie. Can he be healthy? Because the same way he's not a great defensive player, neither is Jokic.
Fair.
And we seen in that matchup the other night, had he played more minutes, they probably could have stole that game just because of the impact he came in with changed the outcome. Not the outcome, but changed the way that the game was going. The Clippers got momentum as soon as he came in. So I think in certain matchups that they have, Boogie definitely he's gonna be the precious.
Sure.
You got to let him run wild. And Rondo is Rajon Rondo. And I think what he brings to the Clippers is what Kawhi needed last year. All these guys not shot creators. So to get somebody who's going to make everybody's job easier, who's bigging everybody up, telling them this is who you are. Boogie 3 games in said, I'm not accepting no Paul George slander. You got Boogie Cousins to watch your back. I'm going to walk around like I'm that man too. Who going to guard me?
Yep.
Who you going to give me a hard foul? I got Serge and Boogie right here. Okay. Yep. Mook on this side, Kawhi Hill, Rondo, Pat Bell. You got a bunch of dogs around you. Now all you got to do is be you. And I think that's what we seeing from Paul George with these additions. As soon as Kawhi went out, he turned it up to even a higher level than what we already seen.
Sure. No, that's a really good point. There's a couple guys for me that I really would say, JD, it's not really it's just like, okay, I really want to follow what's going on. I think Nurkic is definitely a guy for me. Yeah. I want to see I think Nurkic to me is the entire key for a big playoffs run. He is the key. I don't care. With all due respect, Dame can keep hitting crazy shots and McCollum can, and McCollum's out, but Dame can keep hitting those shots. Fine, whatever. Nurkic, his defensive numbers are off the charts. So when he's out of the game, it is a complete disaster. It is a disaster on defense. It's a disaster on defense. If the Blazers have any chance to want to get out of the first round and not fire their head coach Terry Stotts, they have to be able to get it done with Jusuf Nurkic. He's too valuable for them, and he has to be able to play, in my opinion, JD, 35 minutes a game in the playoffs in order for them to get to the next step. I mean, they are going to need him. They cannot afford to not have him. And then I'm going to go with another center as well, who I think controls the destiny of this particular team, and that's DeAndre Ayton. If DeAndre Ayton plays like a first year playoff guy, well, breaking news, they're not going to go to the big dance. They're not going to get to the big round. But if
they'll lose to the Lakers. If it ended right now, they lose to the Lakers if he plays.
They need him to go at these guys, JD. They need him to go at them. If they have no money in the front court, JD, they need to go right at him. If they played Dallas, okay, who's going to guard him at the 5, JD? He should be going in there. He should be taking over. And their team clearly wants to see him do that. Clearly, they want to see him do it. He gets the
ball a lot.
Yeah. So it's like they want him to do it. The question that I have is just, okay, what's gonna, if you face the Lakers in the first round, that would really suck. But at the same time, I don't think that's a bad series, JD. I honestly really don't. I think that could be a really good first round series. Yeah. I'm not surprised if Phoenix wins the series. I'm just not. The Lakers are in complete dysfunction.
At this point, I wouldn't be the Andre Drummond. Don't look like Andre Drummond.
No.
Anthony Davis starting around in the shape. Anthony Davis is hurt every time you touch him. He might miss the whole second half of Game 5 if he land wrong off a jump shot. So his health alone can steal you a game. We haven't seen LeBron. And I feel like LeBron gonna be LeBron, but at the same time, I don't know if the rest of those guys really are invested in playing. Schroeder playing selfish, in my opinion. He looks very selfish when he's actually playing, like he's out for himself. I could say Kuzma is every other game. It looked like he's invested in playing.
Yeah.
KCP every other game. Wes Matthews look a complete hot mess.
Sure.
Marc Gasol barely even touching the floor. I'm tired of Alex Caruso even being spoken upon.
No, same. It's let me get a rant in here. This is ridiculous. Okay, Alex Caruso getting this playing time is absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. JD, they bench a guy in Wes Matthews. They hardly even play Wes Matthews. Wes Matthews has playoff experience. Wes Matthews
Get him on the team.
Sharp shooting. Wes Matthews is a good defender, and here we are just sitting there loving on Alex Caruso. We're loving on Alex Caruso for what? For what? What's he going to do? Is he going to hit an outside shot for me when it matters, JD? Is he going to do it? No, he's not going to do it. Is he going to, all he is Dellavedova. Let's just move on, right? I mean, it's what Caruso is. It's just,
I don't even remember Caruso in the finals last year.
And they got McLemore. Play McLemore, too.
Yeah, I love the Ben McLemore acquisition. It's just, I need to see him with LeBron.
That's fair.
Because nobody really matters unless they're on the floor with LeBron, unless it's Anthony Davis, Drummond, and Marc Gasol. Because these are the only people who's already established themselves. We know Dennis Schroeder could get a bucket, but it's Dennis Schroeder. We haven't seen Dennis Schroeder carry nobody or just stand out and be that man. We know Andre Drummond can be that man down there.
Sure.
It's hard to out-rebound them unless you Clint Capella. We know who Anthony Davis is. We don't got to speak on that. We know who LeBron is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We know what Marc Gasol means when he's on the floor. He changed everything versus Philly and Milwaukee. Last year, we knew that. We knew that Toronto wasn't going to beat Boston. Well, I said they wasn't. AB believed that they could until they went down 0-2. Then he switched up on his Raptors.
Exactly.
But
it's unbelievable. But anyhow, we'll move on, and that'll be the big thing for us, JD. That was a solid debut, and what we have plenty of things to talk about for other people to listen to, particularly your Facts and Stats pod, JD. What do you have going for that?
Oh man, tomorrow I'm dropping this new episode with our guy from Divine Rhyme, Dylan Hughes. The Power of the Mind.
Yeah, baby.
Make sure to tune in to that. Dylan came, man. Dylan came and dropped some gems, man, for sure.
Hughes is great. He's got a book From One Young Soul to Another. That's also something to check out. And speaking of Hughes, he's on a lot this week, man. He's got his power hours. He's going to get some all rookie team talk. He's going to get some last team before the playoffs talk this week. And then he's got a favorite movie series with Zach Griffith. He's on everywhere. So check out Hughes if you're interested. We have the Circle City Cinema with plenty of content coming from that, from best picture drafts to favorite movies to Fast and Furious series, which JD has been a part of. Check that out. There's a lot to get into with Divine Rhyme. There will be some Schoolboy Q album talk. So overall, there's plenty to look at in the Running Hook Network. And JD, once again, thank you for coming on the LynnSanity.
Thanks for having me, brother.